Hi, I'm Shawn Black from the New York Experience, and as you may or may not be aware, there's an ongoing strike with the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, and the Screen Actors Guild, Sag-Aftra, against the big production companies. Now there's a lot of reasons for this. Some are unfair wages, outdated contracts, the use of AI, and issues with streaming services, just to name a few. Now you may be asking yourself, how does this affect me? Well, these are some of the hardworking men and women who provide us with the entertainment that we all get to enjoy. And something like this hasn't happened since 1960, so we here decided that it was important to not only discuss the topics, but also to educate people who may not be aware of the situation. That being said, we hope that you enjoyed today's show. But get ready, because the New York Experience, it starts right now.
This is the future.
Corporate greed has got to go. Hey, hey.
Sag-Aftra is on strike, not just for today, but because people have to make a living in this industry, and that is what is at stake. Not just for actors, not just for writers, but for the union workers in entertainment who are all around this crowd today. I see IATSE, I see the Teamsters, I see all of our brothers and sisters and siblings in this union. This is for workers everywhere.
Without a union, there is no middle class. Without a middle class, there is no democracy.
In order to get our insurance, it makes $26,000 a year. $26,000, and 87% of us can't qualify for health insurance. That's $26,000 a year, and we can't do that. 98,000% of us are below the minimum. That's 160,000 people. 98% are struggling. This is wrong.
We've talked a lot about how this affects background actors, and rightly so, because background actors would be abused under their proposal. But you know what? It's not only a proposal for background actors. They made the same proposal for franchise projects. So any principal performer out there who thought, oh, wow, I might have a chance to get on a Marvel movie. Well, you know what? That job could be your last, because they can tell you that if you want that job, you have to agree. You have to agree to give your consent for them to use your digital replica forever with no additional consent and no additional compensation. And that is wrong.
We're fighting for this country. We're fighting for integrity, respect, and honor.
And as an actor, I remember the words of a great writer, Mr. Beckett, who said in Waiting for Godot, at this place, in this moment of time, all mankind is us. Let us do something while we have the chance before it's too late.
You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee.
The New York Experience with Shawn Black, with special guests Richard Byrd, Kaitron Bryant. And now, here is the New York Experience.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the New York Experience. Now, as you heard at the beginning of the show, we're doing things a little bit different today. As you know, or may not know, and maybe may not be aware, there is a SAG-Aftra / WGA strike going on where there's like thousands, maybe more, actors and writers out of work. So I thought it was important for us to sit down and have a discussion about it. So we're changing up the format. To my right, I have a renowned actor, Mr. Richard Byrd, and to his right, I have Mr. Kaitron Bryant, an award-winning writer. Richard, you've been down on the line. You've been down there. You've been in the thick of things. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
It's been a journey, and I don't look at it like something that's gonna be a few months. I look at it like I just gotta be there today. And I stepped in when the writers were on strike, so I participated a little bit during that part of the segment. And I think they appreciated having an actor and other people, you know, join them on the line. And now that we're striking, they're right along with us. You know, they may be getting close to going back to their discussions, but they're there with us. There's the Teamsters with us. There's people.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
I find that it's been an amazing camaraderie, a lot of solidarity, and like I said, one of the main reasons why I wanted you down. So now you've been down and you've been seeing a lot of actors on different levels down, walking the line with you. What's that been about?
It's been great.
Okay.
Anyone from Christian Slater to Kevin Bacon. You know, these people are still filming it just like me. They're frustrated with how our art is being taken advantage of and how easily it can be replaced by the powers that be.
So now, this question's for you, Kaitron. Now, as a writer, and you hear about this AI coming in and writing scripts, what do you think of that?
Like we were talking earlier, I mean, we knew it was inevitable.
Right.
We knew this AI stuff was coming. So from not even just a writer and an actor standpoint, a producer standpoint, I tell myself, what can we do to, with the strike, come to that happy median where actors can be happy, writers can be happier, and producers can be happier? Because we all know that is dispute of what's pays, what's fair, what's not fair.
Correct.
So what I factor in when I look at the protests and when I look at the stuff is not just, oh, we have an issue. I'm trying to figure out, from my point of view, where can we balance that out as far as revenue, as far as residuals, as far as what we can do to get the industry back up and running?
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because, Rich, maybe you can answer this question better. What are some of the things that that the actors are asking for, and what are they like? What are some of the things this is for the people who are completely unaware? Because one thing that I do find is that a lot of people are unaware of it. There's not enough media coverage. There is a ton of it out there, but I still see that a lot of people are unaware, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this, to have people be more aware. So, Rich, if you don't mind, for the people who are unaware and, you know, to just give them a little bit of education, what are some of the reasons for the strike?
Well, you can find all of the details on the Sag-Aftra website, but some of the main things that we need is, the first thing is a contract. Our contract is expired, so right now we'll be working without a contract. So whatever that contract will be, we need a contract.
Right.
We're looking for residuals that we're not getting paid for on streaming services, which most people are watching.
Right.
So pretty much we'd like to have a portion of that to be able to pay for health care. It's now out there that over 80-something% of the actors cannot afford health care.
Yes, that's a known fact,
which is
absolutely.
not good for anybody in the city or any city. So basically those things where we are able to get residuals, which may help us get to the threshold to pay for our insurance.
Absolutely.
So it's just like one thing helps the other thing, helps the other thing. And then, you know, it's just pretty much respect on set. AI, you know.
We're going to talk about that.
You know, I don't know much about it. I just know that, you know, sometimes these actors are asked to take photos of their images away from what the regular job entailed to be saved later and to be used later. And we don't know for what and for when because they don't tell us.
Right.
So we're a little nervous about that part, and that's been going on for some years already.
So do you think that is something that should be, like, is it a compensation issue with the AI, or because as an actor, I find that myself, I find that, and we spoke about this earlier, it's, you know, that's our bread and butter. Like, our likeness is our bread and butter. It's what we're out here, you know, giving to the world, we're giving us. So once you do that, you know, for a compensation, it becomes a situation of like, okay, now you're benefiting off of my likeness forever. I mean, where is the fair medium with that, you know? And that's when it addresses what you were stating earlier. Where is the fair medium, And is there even a fair medium for something like that? Because you're talking about using that forever.
I mean, I don't know if you can put it into like a print job or a commercial job where every time it's run you receive compensation for it. I mean, we could start with that. I mean, I'm not a negotiator, but it don't even make sense.
We're just discussing it. That's what this is. It's just an open discussion. We're just talking about it.
If you're using my service or you're using something that I created, that I receive some type of royalty or payment for that, other than being paid the first time, well, let me know that you're doing it. At the first, you know, sometimes we don't even know that we're going to have our image used. It's just like, okay, well, you guys are just sitting around. Let's just come to over here. Let's get some photos of you guys, and then we don't know what those photos are going to be used for because we got hired for the day. So what are we? They're doing everything with us for the day. Well, instead of just, okay, we're here to be what we were booked to do, be a postal worker or a pedestrian, or now we're taking photos separate of what we're hired to do. You know, so that's a little bit scary, not knowing what they're going to do with us or with our images.
Well, to give everybody a little bit of background, we have some footage of the actual strike order that took place on July 14th, I believe, correct? July 14th, where the actual strike went into effect, and then when we come back from that, we're going to talk about it.
It came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We are labor and we stand tall and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. We are being taken advantage of in a terrible way. And if we let this happen to us, dollars for donuts, it's going to happen to you and your family, your children, and everybody that you work with too. That's how threatening this moment is in our nation's history.
Wow, guys, I mean, what can you say about that? I mean, Fran had some very, very powerful words to say. Rich, what do you got? What do you think about that?
Growing up watching on TV, I never would have thought that I'd be out there marching with her. That she'd be fighting for my rights as an actor.
I didn't know, as a matter of fact. It's funny that you mentioned it because I didn't know at first. I was surprised when you get an email and then I'm like, wait a minute, I had that, and that's when I did a little bit of research, and you come off and find out that it's very surprising. But she's a wonderful lady. She's doing so much for us. Thank you so much, Fran. Seriously, you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I think it's important to have someone who is well known to be the face of the union. I just saw it when she comes out. People want to be out there. You know, I could be out there. You know, I have my friends that'll come out, but if she comes out, then more people will come out. And the cameras will be there, and paparazzi will be
Absolutely.
there.
And you need that coverage.
We need that. We need that. And it has changed from an actor's fight to a worker's fight.
Right.
You know, from a writer's fight straight through to the working man or the creator's fight. The dancer or anyone else who wants to get compensated for something that they created.
Kaitron, what do you think about that?
Like I said, it's a couple of points that he brought up. From the worker standpoint, I mean, is what the proposition from a producer standpoint. What I would like to do is, if you're going to use AI, if it's inevitable, have a compensation for the extra pictures. Have a compensation for we might use your likeness on this season or on for the show. Okay, if you're going to do that, I should be compensated more for that day if you're going to do this, or some kind of negotiation between actors to say, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, from the writer side, obviously you're not an actor, so you're not out. So it's more of a compensation more for your writing creativity or deal point aspect. What can we do to, because obviously the producers, the networks want a good deal, the writers, actors want a good deal. So far, like I said, with my proposition with the actors, it would be to pay them more for the likeness that you're going to be using throughout the season. But basically, he said the contract, Richard said the contract has to line out what are you exactly doing with my likeness.
With my likeness.
And that's that they're not explaining that. Like, we're taking your likeness in, when are you going to use it, where are you going to use it? And these networks own multiple shows, so you don't know. You can be on a show that you didn't even play on with your likeness. You was on show A, but then you see your face on show B.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you touched on the writing, and I know we spoke about this a little bit earlier, but I want to get a little bit deeper into it. So I actually know that there are different programs out there, different apps that you can, ask it a question, the AI ask it a question, write me a script or something like that. Now, from a writer's standpoint, you put your passion into this, you put your blood, sweat, and tears, your experiences into this. Now, do you think that something like that should be used to to write a script for like a multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar movie or something like that? I mean,
from an aspect of
from an aspect of a writer,
nothing else. From an aspect of a writer, no, nothing can replace raw emotion.
Right.
For example, if you're writing a story and it's of your heritage, there's no AI that can give you that girth, that feel that you can replace.
But that's some of the things that they're talking about. That's that's part of it. That's they want to use an AI to write a script, and which is completely devoid of emotion, completely devoid of passion. So all the things that you bring to the table and you're writing down in every line, it's being taken away, but just by a computer that's taking a number of different algorithms and just putting it all together and putting it out there. So from that aspect, this is the reason why I ask you, because you're the writer. What would you think of something like that? Because it's the same thing. Like, you have from the actor's aspect where they're digitally scanning and taking your likeness, and I mean it's completely, again, it's just algorithms and pictures and so on and so forth, and they just compile it and put it all together. It's the same thing when it comes to the writing. There's no emotion in it. There's no passion in it, and I think you can never take the human element out of this industry. As much as you may think that you could, you'll never be able to take the human element out of it. And I don't mean to I don't mean to answer the question for him, but
no, you're actually right on the mark with that. I mean, these AIs, they'll be able to churn out script after script. Most people don't understand is that even the human emotion of a script, they'll buy our script and then it'll sit on a shelf or sit in somewhere for God knows how long. So, I mean, imagine the amount of scripts that these AIs going to be churning out, and then the goal is to have them, let's just take this script that it churned out, let's tweak it, and then, we just skip paying more to writers, we just skip more paying to whoever else was involved in the aspect of writing it. But like I said, back to what you were saying, there's no way that those AI are going to be able to bring that human emotion, because they didn't have the experience when they were writing it, or have the experience of whatever that person was feeling as they wrote it. But like you said, these networks are going to try, so we'll.
Well, that's part of the reason why they're at the table now. Rich, I don't know if you do any writing. You look like a man that does writing. So
I'm not in the WGA. I do write. I'm always coming up with different stories from my experiences. Sharing stories, so yeah.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's how it starts. I found that out after taking a couple writing classes and being in writing groups, being more confident with sharing your words. Is ultimately it, just like being more confident with sharing your acting reel.
Correct.
Or whatever, and then you finally say I'm an actor, or you finally say I'm a writer. Once you finish and you write the end, you wrote something.
Correct. So what do you think about the whole AI coming in and replacing something like that, replacing those experiences?
For someone who doesn't know how to write, it probably could help them start. But ultimately, you're gonna have to give the real feeling behind why you're writing it.
Right, because it's not going to feel
or
real.
else it's going to look like when we were in school and you copied from your friend. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's
That's like, that's what AI is. It's copying from someone else. And it's just never going to be an A paper. You know, it's going to be a C paper because we've seen this before. Right? It's not so original. Your thoughts are not yours.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
So
it's funny because
imagine like the piggyback. Imagine asking we both have the same software.
Yeah.
And I said, write me a crime show. And then I asked the same software, write me a crime show. What is that?
Yeah.
How's that going to?
It'll probably
the
end up
odds are it's going to be the same show.
Yeah, it's going to be the same show with different names.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, because there's nothing unique about the experience that this computer had than what I had. My crime show might involved when I was in high school and the police pulled me over and what that felt like. That computer will never know what that felt like. Knowing that I got stopped in my own neighborhood and was told that the car didn't belong to me when I knew it was my family's car.
Right.
They don't know what that feels like.
Right.
You
No,
know,
absolutely
and only
not.
I can express that. So
And that's really
that's the
it.
difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, that's the gist of it, because it will not replace the human experience. Like, I mean, we're living in scary times, man, because the AI has been out for a little while now, and it's actually, it's funny how fast it's actually in, you know, all of our society, because I didn't expect it to get into our business that soon. It's a little weird, but what do you think about big business right now? Because I heard a couple of things. I don't want to use any names, but what do you think about big business in the middle of striking, actually putting feelers out to see about hiring AI producers?
I think it's just another way of avoiding what needs to be talked about, what needs to be done.
Right. Obviously, it doesn't help. It's not.
No,
helping
it's not going to help. It's avoiding the situation that we're looking at, taking care of the people who are creating the work.
Kaitron, what do you think about that?
Like I said, I mean, couldn't agree with him more. It's just what avenue. They're more thinking about what avenue can we do is to save money. What can we do to lower our costs, but then keep the same amount of revenue? It's not even the issue that they're not making more money. It's that do we feel like dispersing that money amongst the people if we can use AI? And like Richard said, we knew it was coming. We just didn't know to what fashion they were going to use it.
Right.
Now we're all understanding front, face, and center that our intentions was to have you come on there, get your likeness, and then now we can, and like I was telling Richard earlier, you're playing their character, whether you're protest person number 89, whatever the number is. They're portraying you as a character, and they're saying the character belongs to us, so we can use that character, your likeness, to all over whatever season, whatever show. Because it's bigger than just that particular show you were on. This network owns several shows.
Right. So now you're worried about if your likeness is going to be, show up on this show, then that show, and another show.
Like any company out there, no matter what the company is, their goal is to gain revenue, lower operation costs. For example, think back when we were growing up, the graphics, remember the movies that day, the graphics, look at the graphics today, they look so lifelike. I mean, imagine 10 more years from now, to the point where we're not going to tell that this was a animated. Is it animated? I can't tell it's animated.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to put no companies out, but some of them, their animation is getting so well that you cannot tell that's animation.
No, you're right.
So the point is that as long as they're lowering operation costs, but then still getting the revenue, even if it stays the same, they are lowered operation costs on one end, which means they keep more money in their pocket.
On that note, we actually do have some footage of some choice words from Mr. Ron Perlman, giving his take on it. I must warn everybody that it could be explicit. We are, blurting out the more interesting words, but let's take a look at it and then we'll discuss it.
Who said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments? Listen to me. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial, some of it is karma, and some of it is just figuring out who the said that. And we know who said that, and where he lives. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people. You wish that families starve. while you're making $27 million a year for creating nothing? Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful. Because that's the kind of that stirs up. Peace out.
Wow. Mr. Perlman, ladies and gentlemen, those are some choice words from Mr. Ron Perlman. Let's just jump right into it. Rich, what do you think of that?
That was a lot. He spoke from the heart. I think sometimes when you speak from the heart, that's what you get. You get the real.
No, you get the real emotion.
I mean, no one wants anyone to get hurt on this side. You know, that's not what we want. But you know, we're in a serious situation where people are out there every day chanting the same words over and over in hopes that the people who are inside hear them and feel their pain and want to come back and negotiate, you know, and it takes a lot to do. So I feel his passion.
Yeah, what do you think about that anger and passion that Mr. Perlman had?
Like I said, it definitely comes from the heart. I mean, it's not coming from a place of, oh, we just want more money or we just want better health. Yeah, we all want that, but it's coming from this is his passion. That's what he loves. So as you can see in the response,
you can see it in the response.
It showed, you know, front and center.
Well, it's important, and hopefully both of you agree, especially not only for us, but also for the generations behind us that are coming up in the game. Like, I just had a conversation coincidentally with a gentleman right behind the camera, and this is something that he's inspiring to do. Like, he wants to do cinematography. He wants to get into this world. He wants to live, breathe, and be in this world. Now, for the young people coming up behind us, like, what are we telling them? That you can't make a living doing this? Like, go find something else to do? Be like, a lot of people, like all three of us here, this is what we wanted to do as kids. Like, coming up, we said this, we want to be in the acting world. Now, granted, it changes as you get into it. Some become, you know, talk show hosts, some become full-time actors, some become writers, DPs, which is a cinematographer, grip, gaffer, a whole bunch of there's so many different things you can do in this world. But the important thing is that at the end of the day, you want to be able to do it and, you know, take care of your family or take care of yourself. And when, you know, situations like this arise where you can't do that, it's really disheartening, you know? So, I mean, Kaitron, what do you got to say about that?
I mean, it's simply just to kind of wrap it up, because as you know, like I said, I started off as an actor. Then I became a writer. Then I became a producer. And this was all after getting out of the military.
Yeah, these are all the different branches.
Like I said, the thing I can tell the young today is that have a dream, but you got to have endurance, because some things are going to come that's going to test you. To make sure you got to know to have a backup plan, not as far as quitting the dream, but have something that can, you know, substantiate you until that dream blossoms out. And just endurance, keep writing, keep acting, whether you got to do something on your own, just keep doing something to train the craft. Don't let the strike or anything stop you from being able to still do your craft.
But guys, it was a pleasure having both of you guys down here. We're gonna continue talking about this, and I can't wait for us to get deeper into this. Hopefully this whole thing wraps up fairly soon. Solidarity for all my brothers and sisters out there on the line. I'll see you soon. And gentlemen, I already said thank you, but we're out of time. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, and we will see you soon, and we are out of here.
Thank you.
We've got a message for Mr. Iger. I know, sir, that you look through things through a different lens. We don't expect you to understand who we are, but we ask you to hear us, and beyond that, to listen to us when we tell you we will not be having our jobs taken away and giving to robots. We will not have you take away our right to work and earn a decent living. And lastly, and most importantly, we will not allow you to take away our dignity. We are union through and through, all the way to the end. Thank you. God bless you. Stay together. We will win this fight. God bless you.